So tell me something about information. What is?
Well, I guess information is just it's blocks of information. I guess you have different types of information, and I guess that's why I use different colors and different shapes, because information can represent anything. You know, as long as your eyes or your ears or all your senses are actually affected by something, that gives you information. Information is everything.
How do you organize it?
Well, then you have to manipulate it. You have to observe it. You have to understand it. And I mean, that's the way I would approach it, would be to learn about it, to observe it, to see what the information looks like, to see where it sits in its environment. And you can simply begin to think about it, actually, and ask questions about it.
Information is given or taken? What is this antenna doing? Is it just receiving or is sending? Both?
Yeah, it's a good question, but I think it's a bit of both. I think information surrounds us all the time, and I think that's why, to me, this kind of represents everything. And it's up to one to do what they want with it. You could actually take it or give it. I think you could do both, and I think it's kind of important to do both. On the one hand, if you take it, you just you kind of let the information kind of sink in. If you give it, I guess maybe you're giving an opinion. I guess maybe that's a good way of describing it, taking or giving information.
How do you select what you're taking in and giving away?
You got to really decide what the vision is for that and how you want to represent that information. So it's a choice, really. And that choice is made by, first of all, by the kind of maybe person you are, or by the kind of work you do, and or the kind of work you want to do. So it's always a choice. If everything is information, that means I can't even tell you a number. There's so many possibilities and so much information out there. So it's all about possibilities.
It's really good to have so much information.
Yeah, well, I think in a way, it depends how you look at it, because I think information is everywhere. I mean, it comes back to the point is, what is information, And I think it's about your senses being sensitized, or activated, or affected. And that can happen, it happens all the time. We don't have a choice as human beings. We're always feeling something, communicating with the world around us.
There's no human being here.
Well, there is. I put my human.
Yeah.
It's kind of still, exactly. I think, if you want, my humanity is represented by this eye. I guess, like the building. It's more. It's less of a human being. Yeah, I think it's more of a sense. It's more of an eye. It's more of a vision. Let's see what this looks like. Kind of do that.
You can have a look and decide if you like it. Keep it. Explain it. Take it away. Tell me why.
He looks mean, or happy, or something. It's quite amazing. He looks very active. It looks like he's about to jump in this thing. So it's quite interesting, because it kind of represents what the senses do when you actually feel something, or when you touch something, or hear something, or see something, whether it's a tree or a table or a book that you're reading or a film that you're experiencing. So I kind of like the way that this person is reacting. There's a sense of excitement, like this person's going to interact with information.
Everything is information. What's not information? Those holes, those gaps, they are still information, or they represent the non-information or anti-information?
No, I think there isn't. I think it's important to have gaps and holes and different things like that. One can, because a hole is something, when there's nothing there, that's information. Nothingness is information, I think.
When in your film, actually, you are against a certain kind of information. Is that information too? If so, does it have a place in the concept and the model of information, or the information you show, the biased information, or the information which is hidden?
Yes.
It's not presented. It's
Yes.
still information.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think that I'm against information, because in a way we don't have the choice to live without information, because we always feel something. Our senses are always sensitized. We're always active. Our mind is always thinking something. I guess what I represent in the film that's maybe different than what you described is that this is, you could say, one gathering of information that dominates everything else. So, and I guess that's what we explain in the film, is that when you have one very powerful view that dominates every other view, that could be dangerous for society. And what we need is, as opposed to that, is many different views. And as well, it has to be views that are not motivated by money or power. What the film says is that we want to know the truth about it.
Is information the truth?
It's a way of trying to get to a certain truth. I mean, it's a good question. Is there a real truth, Yeah, surely you have you could say, well, the truth is that I was driven here to this interview, so that's a truth. It's hard to argue with that.
That's a fact, though.
It's a fact.
So facts are true.
Yes, but I also think that depending on who tells any kind of fact, the same fact can have two different stories or many different stories. And that's why I think it's important to have many different views, because that's how you can try to get to the truth, So you don't just talk to one person, you have to talk to many, many different people, and people that have a different background, people that have a different perspective to that fact, actually, So I think it's really about communication. I think that's the main thing.
Is there any truth in this model?
Well, what is truth? So I think it's important to really be aware that, it's important to actually take time to, if you want to learn about information and possibly truth, you need time, you need different, you've got to communicate with a lot of different people, I think, and people with different perspectives. And then you might get closer to the truth and get some really interesting responses as well. Things are not as they look. It's not just red or green or yellow. So to ask any kind of questions about information, it takes a lot of, patience and research, and I think communicating with all different kinds of people.
I think I've told you enough. Thank you very much.